Doing the do gives you better health, it promotes your health and whatever, but guess what? So does vitamins, okay? So does, eating healthy, okay? There are lots of things that can give you better health, okay, if you are not doing the do. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Victoria Ayodele Fash. If you're new here, thank you so much for joining me. If you're a return subscriber, you already know. I love you. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for always coming back, okay? So we'll be continuing with the part 2. So last time we started with, intimacy, before marriage, and we're talking about why we shouldn't engage, we're actually talking about why we should, and I'm, kind of debunking those ideas. So yes, if you enjoyed the last video, I'm sure you're going to enjoy this one. If you haven't watched the last video, please go and watch it before you watch this one, okay? So let us get right into it. So our next point is a relationship that involves doing the do witnesses higher level of happiness. The partner feels content with each other, and there's an added advantage of relationship fulfillment. Naturally, a relationship that lacks doing the do invites more fights in the relationship, as there's no coping mechanism. Oh God. Again, okay, well, let's move on. Therefore, the quality and quantity of physical relationship before marriage correlates with the happiness of the couple. I agree. I totally agree. Physical intimacy gives you happiness. But one thing you need to know about happiness is it's not joy. Happiness does not last. So the happiness is only for a moment. You will get, hey, when you give it to him, the guy is happy, he buys you this, buys you that. But when everything wears off, or when he sees another person to make him happy, or when you see another person to make you happy, more happy than that person is even making you, so then what's the joy in it? And then he's saying that what even baffles me is that naturally a relationship that lacks doing the do invites more fights into the relationship, as there's no coping mechanism. One, doing the do is not meant to be a coping mechanism. It's meant to be something that connects you with the person. It's meant to be you connecting, you being one with the person. That is what doing the do is meant to be. It is not a coping mechanism. When it becomes a coping mechanism, where the only way you can cope with the person is to do the do, then that is not a relationship. So it can give you, when the two of you are supposed to discuss issues that are important, that if we want to fight, let us fight, but let us get to the roots of this issue. Instead, you guys choose to, do the do, and then you start to sweep things under the rug. But the problem with under the rug is that it starts to smell, okay? Insects start to crawl under. Before you know what's happening, that thing you are sweeping, everybody's still going to see it. Not having sex does not invite fights, which is what it says. It invites more fights. It's a lie. It's a lie. It doesn't invite, because you guys find more ways to explore, to have fun, to have conversation, to discuss. If you argue, and then you guys make up, you understand? But when you do the do, does not mean you will not fight. You will even fight. You will fight more. It's just you've had one more reason to fight. Because, if you're not doing this very well, if you're not satisfying me, fights we're supposed to have in marriage, we start to have it now. You understand? And then you start to have attachments that you're not supposed to. Someone has not asked you to be his girlfriend, but the two of you have started doing it, and then you have started feeling attached, and the person is with other girls, and then you start to get angry. There was one that I saw on social media yesterday. This week. The lady, he heard that the boyfriend wanted to marry somebody else, so she invited him to her hotel, or she invited him to come like nothing happened, and then she poured petrol on him and tried to light him on fire. That one brought her closer, so the two of them they were burnt, like seriously, they were burnt beyond recognition. And when God will do it for them, God didn't let them die, He let them be alive. So you go through the pain, you start to have unnecessary sexual connection. Unnecessary connection, one that is not your husband, you are going to kill him, murder a person, kill a whole human being because he broke your heart. You think it's just because of normal connection, bonding, sex? That's what they don't tell you. That's the truth that the world don't tell you. They tell you, oh, go get it, girl, you're doing it, you're the big girl, now you are involved, now you know what's up, now you know what's up. They don't tell you the connection it makes. And when heartbreaks happen, right, even the one that you did not do it with, you know how difficult it is for you to get over the person, not to talk of the one that you've actually been cleaved to. It's not difficult. Now you're looking for revenge. You are killing a whole something you will never think of in your entire life. Do you know how the stupid things people do in relationships when sex is involved? So yeah, this is the most nonsense thing I've read, that not having sex will make you to be fighting. Not true. And it's not supposed to be a coping mechanism. It's supposed to be something to enjoy, something to explore, something to have fun with, not something to help you to cope with your husband, cope with your partner. Why? Better understanding with your partner. It says, once you get into a relationship and make a choice of sex before marriage, your understanding with your partner becomes better. The efforts put into marriage are done beforehand, as doing the do plays an important drive to help you both know each other. See, this one, it's ridiculous, okay? Doing the do does not make you to understand anybody. If anything, it blinds you, okay? It blinds you from seeing what is right in front of you. And I'm saying this based on people that are in my life, that, you know, sometimes I say, can you just not do it? Can you just carry hold your body for like a few months? Try to know this person on a normal relationship, getting to know each other level, before you will see, oh God, again, to the spiritual angle, sex will blind your eyes from a lot of things you should be seeing, because the action is good. Every time you now see each other is about physical attraction, and trust me, the moment you open the Pandora box, you will keep giving, you will keep collecting, okay? The times that should be spent talking about reasonable things, you know, planning your future, planning your marriage and the things that you want to achieve in your marriage, or asking him if he wants to marry you, or looking at the signs, looking at the things that, you know, sex will blind you from everything. Okay, you will not see the person for who he is, because every time you see each other is doing it. Every time you see each other is doing it, unless you're on your period. Okay, and it gets to a point where the only thing that attracts you to the person is the physical thing he wants to get from you. So building understanding, I don't even think it helps you at all. The only thing sex it does in your relationship is for pleasure. Okay, and then you realize that every time the two of you are together, you is to do it. You're always doing it, time that is meant to spend. And then when he starts to give you attitude, when you start to see things, you start to make excuses for him. Why? Because the thing is so good, you don't want to lose him. Or you have now given it to him, and you don't want to lose both ways. Okay, you don't want to lose, you've already given him your body, but now he's acting up, but you don't want to leave him because you now have to go and restart with somebody else again. That is where the issue is. But if you are not giving yourself, if you start to give me attitude, we start, everybody goes their way, you start to get to know somebody else and all of that. But when sex is involved, you don't want to lose both ways. If you're already giving him, if you're not losing him, and that's how people end up in abusive relationship, in abuse. I don't know about, I'm not just talking about physical abuse, verbal abuse, emotional abuse. I see a lot of ladies doing that because the guy knows that he has collected what he wants, okay? And now that he has it, he knows that you would not want him, you do not want to let him go. Because oh God, I feel like I need to go to the spiritual angle now. Sexual intimacy builds bond. When the Bible created Adam and Eve, now I just want to get into here because we're talking about understanding in marriage. Talking about when God created Adam, I said when the Bible created, when God created Adam and Eve, when they became one, it says the man and the woman, they cleave to one another. What do you think cleave means? When they have sex, when they reproduce, when they become one. That is marriage in the sight of God. Sex is marriage in the sight of God. Okay? There was no marriage. There was no, do you take this man? There was nothing like that in the olden, when God created Adam and Eve, in the first marriage. There was nothing like, do you take this man as your lawfully wedded husband? No, there was nothing like that. When you clear, the Bible says that he that is joined with an harlot is one. It's in your Bible. Yes, in 1 Corinthians chapter 6 verse 16, the Bible says that, do you know that he who is joined to a prostitute becomes one body with her? For as it is written, the two shall become one flesh. Mark says that, Mark 10:7-9 says that, for this reason a man shall leave his father and his mother's house and shall be joined to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. Okay, so that they are no longer two but one flesh. Therefore, what God has joined together, let no man separate. What that means is that in God's sight, Once intimacy is involved, marriage has happened. Okay, the Bible says you become one. It is the sexual intimacy between man and a woman in God's sight that joins you together. So we're talking about, and remember we're talking about understanding, or more understanding with each other. That's why I tell you that once sex is involved, a bond is created in the realm of the spirit, and that's why it's so difficult for you to let go. And that's why they always say that it is just sex. It is never just sex. It is never just doing the do, okay? It's joining, you're joining yourself with someone, okay? So that when you get married and you start to think about your sexual past, or you start to influence you are now making, doing the do with your wife, and you are thinking of an ex-girlfriend, or thinking of, because you are all together doing it spiritually, it's in God's sight, okay? That's the Bible. If you are joined with a woman, joined with a prostitute, joined with whoever, you have become one with the person. Of course, and it says that you live and you cleave, okay? It's not that you are forced. So let's take the aspect of rape and all of those out, okay? You did not live, you did not cleave, okay? You did not join yourself, you were forced. You are not one with whoever raped you, okay? So let us get that straightened up, okay? And why do you think it's so difficult to break ties with people that you've had, sexual contact with? Because there is a cleaving that has been done. And for you to uncleave, you need to uncleave. You need to break those covenants in prayers. But anyways, so I'm talking about understanding. That's the reason why, because of that connection that sex brings, it makes it difficult for you to see what you're supposed to see. It makes it difficult for you to live when you know you should live, because you have cleaved with him. You understand? So there's no understanding anymore. It's not you staying in an abusive relationship, staying in a relationship that you know you shouldn't be, because you see some people like, why are you still with this person? I have a very, very, very close person to me, and every time the same mistake, you keep giving yourself, and this person keeps treating you like trash, but you keep staying there, and I keep asking you why. And then the person tells you, okay, I'm not doing it again. You will still put the person's brother and his, on your status, just to show the person that you are moving on and stuff. You have cleaved. And now it's difficult for you to separate. And now it's treating you like trash, but you cannot let go, because you have your spirit is cleaved. Yeah. So no understanding. If anything, it blinds you from the things you're supposed to see. There was something I wanted to talk about just now. Oh, Holy Spirit, help me to remember. Oh shoot, I can't remember. It just left my head. It's a very valid point. I can't remember anymore. But yes, so there's no understanding anymore. And you're stuck in your past. You're stuck with your first love, the person that you gave your body to first. And you start to compare the person you are, your husband, with the past sexual experience you've had, because there's a connection that comes with sex. Yes, what I wanted to say. And that's why before any marriage fails, most marriages that fail, if you ask them, there's a research that was conducted, when was the last time you and your husband had sex? They will tell you they can't remember. It's been a long time. When you know that your marriage is in trouble is when you cannot remember the last time you and your husband were intimate. That is where trouble starts. When that intimacy is broken, when there's that connection is no longer there, that cleaving, that oneness that God has created, that God intended for marriage, when it's not there anymore, then you start to separate. Your connection starts to break. And then when you start to connect with somebody else sexually, that's when your marriage foundation starts to break, starts to shatter. Sex is very important in marriage, and it should not be handled lightheaded. It's not going to make you understand anybody. I think I've gone too much. Better communication of feelings. With sex before marriage, you are able to communicate your feelings. I pray that this video gets monetized. The way I keep calling the S word. This is because it also connects two people on an emotional level. So this helps you to both interact in a better way and shed all of your inhibitions. So better communications of feelings. And I think it actually has the opposite. It has the opposite effect, which is what I just said just now. Because you are so connected with the person, you're not able to express yourself, because most of the times when you meet yourself, you are actually just, you are more interested in the physical connection than you are with the emotional connection. Because for you to have emotional connection, for you to have true connection with the person, leave sex out of the table. Okay? Connect with them intellectually, connect with them spiritually, connect with them in another level, to be able to know, okay, who are you really? But when it is involved, even when you are seeing what is there in front of you, you will not accept it. Why? Because you have cleaved. You understand? So there's no emotional connection. The only emotion that is connecting is the sexual emotion. That is the only emotion that is connecting. Okay? It is when you stay away and then you try to reason with this person, realize that work, because all along you guys are focused on the least thing you should be focusing on in your relationship. Yes, it is when you get into marriage that sex becomes much of a priority. But in your relationship, you focus on compatibility. You focus on, are we good for each other? Can we stand each other? Can we make each other laugh? Can we have intellectual conversation? Do we connect spiritually? Our values, does it align? But once doing the do enters, the things you're supposed to discuss get swept under the table. The two of you will not be able to have 2 minutes discussion. You have off your pint. You understand? So yes, I don't think it helps you to connect emotionally. It only helps you to connect sexually. Your emotions and stuff he will start to take it for granted. Why? Because he has seen everything. He has collected everything. Or she has collected everything that she needs from you. You understand? So it now becomes just sexual connection. And then that's why some women will say that he used me. Why do you think they say that? You also used him. Yes, we know. But why do you think women say that? Because you feel it. You feel like you've been used. You feel like you're second hand when he's done with you. Emotionally, he doesn't care. Because it's just physical that he's there for. A guy asks you, how are you? Tomorrow you have moved to his house. You have started giving it to him. I feel like I need to drink water because I've been talking too much. And funny enough, this being a topic that I struggled a lot. Now I understand. Now I think I understand. By the way, look at this fine picture. I love this picture so much. That's my wedding picture. I don't know if you guys can see it. I know I'm deviating. Look at that fine man and that fine girl. Okay, let's move on. Where were we? Where were we? Okay. Number 8 says generally reduces the level of stress. One of the benefits of premarital sex is the partner have less stress and arguments in the relationship. They reach a level of understanding and security that allows them to worry less about the relationship overall. This makes the relationship healthy and stronger. I agree that it reduces stress. It allows you to worry less about your relationship. It is true. Because when it's involved, that's what you guys are focused on. You are not focused on the health of your relationship. You are not focused on, because there should be some level of worry about your relationship. Where are we going? What is happening? When are we moving? Where are we moving to? Questions you should ask that would naturally cause some kind of disagreement so that you guys can agree on something. You will leave those important conversations, because trust me, important conversations are not had in joy and happiness. Sometimes you have to have tough conversations in your relationships. But when sex is involved, just like they said, and I'm agreeing with them, you don't have stress, because all you have to do is to do it, okay? And when you guys want to have, when a talk or conversation is getting awkward, just off pints, you understand? And you get over it. So no stress. You get, if that is what you're looking for, and that is not a relationship, that is just, doing the do-ship. You understand? That's the kind of relationship you're looking for. So, no, because a relationship is supposed to give you some level of stress, okay? Because you wonder, okay, all right, so where are we moving towards? Do we need to start saving? Do we need to do this? Are we getting married when? You understand? So there's some level of stress that naturally comes to relationship. But if you want to avoid all of those, just be doing it, okay? The next thing you will see is an IV to his wedding to somebody else, okay? So, or then you end up getting married, and all the stress you're supposed to go through in your relationship to make you determine if this person you want to spend the rest of your life with, you didn't go through that stress, is now in marriage. Because trust me, that stress won't go away. It is waiting for you in marriage. So the things you're supposed to deal with when you guys were still dating, you now start to deal with it when you're married. And some of it is not something that you can cope with. But it's for better, for worse, right? So that is going to reduce level of stress. Hey, what kind of stress to begin with? Because life is full of stress and stresses, okay? So you have stress from work, you come, you release the stress by being with the person momentarily. That stress reduction is momentarily. The moment everything is done, you go back to pick up your worries. It's like using alcohol to manage your stress level. The stress is still going to come. It's only temporarily. The moment the alcohol wears off, you are going to face it. So the moment the excitement wears off, that thing you're avoiding, that conversation, that difficult conversation you're trying to avoid to have, you're still going to have it. Okay? And when you're in a relationship where the only thing that is useful in your relationship is your sexual life, I pity you. Yes. So, stress level, you'll be stressless momentarily. When everything wears off, the stress will now start to pick up. I would rather deal with the things I need to deal with before we get married, for me to be sure that this is the place that I need to be, than to now avoid them and then get to marriage and deal with them, because those problems are not going anywhere. Number 9, better intimacy with partner. It is not unusual to be in a relationship and to be physically attracted to your partner, but then to end up being completely turned off when things become physically intimate. Perhaps biology is telling you that we are not intimate. Oh, Jesus Christ, who knows? But as strange and frustrating as it might seem, that problem occurs more frequently than you might think. If you're physically intimate with your partner before marriage, you know soon enough to know whether you're attracted to each other sexually or what. So they're talking about better intimacy with your partner, which I think is a repetition of the point they started with. So they're saying that there are times that, you know, she said it's not usual to be in a relationship and be physically attracted, but then when you have it, you realize that sexually we are not sexually attracted to each other. Number 1, physical attraction is what drives sexual attraction. Okay, the one thing you need to know is that the man's organ and your organ have a programming from the master, the person who created them. Okay, what drives that programming is your attraction, physical attraction, which you don't need to have sex to know if you're physically attracted to a person. Okay, and your mental attraction, your emotional attraction, when everything is in sync. Doing the do is easy. See, doing the do is very easy when you connect with the person. You understand? That is just like the icing to the cake. You get? So that you now marry a person and then you realize that sexually, so what do you do about it? What if you were sexually compatible before marriage and all of a sudden something happened, you are not anymore? Won't you find something? Won't you do something about it? So we don't want to go through stress in marriage. We just want to have all the fun and then okay, I think we should marry now that we know we are sexually compatible. Intellectually, are you compatible? Because how many minutes we used to, how many hours we used to do the do in your marriage out of 24 hours? You do the do maybe 5 hours or 4 hours. The remaining 20 hours of the day, what happens? Okay, let's say you sleep 8 hours. The remaining hours, what happened? Do you have intellectual conversation? Is it a person that connects with you emotionally? Is it a person that spiritually you are in the same level? So what matters to you the most? Sex is a very important aspect of marriage, and I'm not going to downplay it, okay? But see, you can work on it. This body, you can teach your body, okay, to love it, and it will get there. It takes time, it takes practice, it takes exploring each other, and even that time and practice in itself is fun because you are learning new things about each other. So what is the rush? What's the rush? If you're sexually attracted to each other, what's the point? Better intimacy with your partner? No, you can get better as you move on in your marriage. You don't need to have it before, because like I said, people are different. Because you have experience with this person does not mean that experience you have is going to be good with this person. I talked about the lady that says that her ex always wants it bushy and then the husband wants it, no hair at all. You get? So you learn, you move, you grow, you improve. As long as the person you're marrying, again I said, have the conversation about sex before you get married. What do you like? What are the things that maybe I should do a video about things. Of course, Christians, sexual conversation you should have with your partner before you get married. Okay, so yes, and number 10, better health. One of the reasons to do the do before marriage is that it is known that doing the do leads to better health. And even if you have delayed marriage, but your doing the do life is healthy, it contributes to overall good health, fewer mental health and physical problems. This one I can't argue. Better health, yes. They said, science has proven that, doing the do gives you better health, it promotes your health and whatever, but guess what? So does vitamins, okay? So does, eating healthy, okay? There are lots of things that can give you better health, okay, if you are not doing the do. So is it that, oh, you want to, you know, have a better health, good heart rate and everything? Go and jog. Your heart will beat fast. So again, so better health is not a reason for you to do. If anything, the health complications you have. Imagine if after all this while you have kept yourself and whatever, and then you decide to do it and with one person, and you end up with a sexually transmitted disease that you have to deal with for the rest of your life. What? The health that you didn't have without doing the do, it's not better than coming to face that, because you don't know how many demons you're sleeping with. That's the physical, that's the health part of it. What about the spiritual angle? Do you know how many people you're sleeping in the bed with? Do you know the toll it takes in your spiritual life? You're a chorister in the church. Now you go to the altar and the devil is pointing your fingers at you. You have attacks. You can't pray because you know you don't have the, you know, the authority, or you know you can't. So why take yourself through all that stress? Better health. Take vitamins, do your exercise, eat healthy, you will have good health. Okay, you don't need to be sexually active for you to have good health. So that is not even an argument. Okay, let me know what you guys think about this video. And if you guys know how awkward it was starting this video, and how you guys, I mean, I'm sure I'm going to cut a lot of part out, but it was so difficult shooting this video. This is my third attempt, but I'm so glad and I am so grateful that, you know, I was able to do it. And I hope this blesses you, it encourages you. And again, I'm not talking about, and I just want you to know that if you've had it before, it is never too late. Abstinence before marriage, get to know the person. See, if you don't do it before then, you get to know the person. What I'm trying to say is that there's a lot of benefits in not doing it, in waiting. You get to know this person, enjoy yourself, build friendship, because I always say this, a time will come in your marriage that is your friendship that will sustain you. There's a time that even to do it, you don't feel like it. You can't, because you're going through emotional stress, physical stress, psychological stress. So you won't be able to do it. It's the friendship that you build that will make it to last. So focus on that, okay? And if you've done it before, it's never too late. Abstinence is good. Get to know the person, enjoy your friendship, build friendship. Know if this person is even willing to wait for you. If you're worth waiting for, my sister, you are worth it. If he says that he's going to leave you, if he doesn't do it, good riddance to bad rubbish. Okay, there is someone out there that will be willing to wait with you, not for you. Not that he's doing it with other people while he's waiting for you. No, he's waiting with you because he knows you're worth it, you're deserving. And there are a lot of men that are waiting. Believe me, they are, that are willing to wait for you. So this year, make it a point. If you need to stop it this year, if you need to make a New Year's resolution that you're going to keep yourself holy for the person that is deserving of you, trust me, he's worth it. My husband, he's worth it. Okay, so yeah, you're worth waiting for. You are more than what you offer physically. You are more than what you can offer physically. You are more than what you can offer sexually. You are more than that. You are not a sexual toy or a sexual thing that the person would, you know, a man should use to satisfy himself. No, you are more than that. You're worth more than 1,000 kiloshenkpe. I can't remember. But you are so precious to God. Don't give yourself cheaply. Don't see yourself the way God sees you. You are so precious. And the man that is worthy of you, that is deserving of you, is going to come along. God will bring your man to you. Wait for him. Okay, so this is where I'm going to end. I've spoken for over an hour and 20 minutes. Jesus Christ. Okay guys, I need to run now. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sure this is going to be in 2 parts. I'm so grateful to have you guys here. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Until we meet again, my name is still Victoria Ayodele. Please remember to subscribe, to like this video, to leave a comment, to share this video. Yeah, so thank you guys. Until we meet again, bye.